Hi, it's Miss Vanderlinden. It's been a couple days since I've seen you. Can't wait till tomorrow. I'm going to be reading one part of She Persisted today for you, and then a chapter book, which I'll introduce in just a second. Remember, I have these in my office, so if you ever want to borrow them, feel free to come in. But one of you is going to be the lucky winner at the end of the week and can pick which book they want to take home with them. So, She Persisted. One of my all-time heroes is Harriet Tubman. When I was in second grade, I learned about her, and I have loved her ever since. Harriet Tubman was born a slave, and her story could have ended there. Instead, she persisted, escaping from slavery and becoming the most famous conductor on the Underground Railroad. She risked her life many times to lead countless slaves to freedom, including her family, friends, and strangers. Every person she led to freedom arrived safely. I should fight for my liberty as long as my strength lasted. So if you ever want to know anything about Harriet Tubman, please come and see me and we can have a lovely conversation. But this book is great because it's about all women who have persisted in our society. So the book I'm going to read, the whole thing, is After the Fall. After the Fall, how Humpty Dumpty got back up again. You think you know about Humpty Dumpty, but here's the rest of the story. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being so close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident. But that accident changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together again. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became very afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. You couldn't get to the top of the cereal. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. See the idea? Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to It was easy to get cuts and scratches. But day after day I kept trying and trying. Until I got it just right. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall, but the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. Until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg that got back up. And learned how to fly. I hope you guys noticed that both of these books are about being persistent and keeping on trying. So remember, come and borrow them. We'll see you tomorrow at school.